In the halls of the great difficulties that the Jewish people, or the Hebrew people, experienced as they were leaving Egypt and heading to the Holy Land, there, of course, is the incident with the golden calf, which is the preeminent sin of the people at that time. In my opinion, secondarily is complaining about the manna. This is not the instance where God gives the manna, where the people say to Moses, hey, we got no food. We'd have done better alive in Egypt than dead in the desert. Valid point. Not the right way of going about asking for that, but okay. And then they get to this point where they're frustrated and they've been eating the manna for, days or weeks. And they come to Moses, and again they complain, which they should have learned. If you just ask, you'll get it. You don't have to cause a near riot. This isn't that kind of thing. And so they go to Moses and they complain. Again, they complain about what? The miraculous bread that falls down from heaven that is their sustenance. You know what God could have done? Okay, no more manna. Go fish. And that would not have worked out well. But of course, that's not what God did. I would also encourage you to think about it this way, that God didn't send the serpents so much as they were already there. And God stopped protecting the people from the serpents that were already in the sand. And thus it becomes a perfect analogy for sin, right? God did make Adam and Eve sin? Sin was already there. The serpent was already in the garden. God just, for the moment, allowed them to be exposed to it. And God doesn't take away the danger, but instead provides a cure. God doesn't take away the serpents. I presume that the serpents went away when the people moved and stopped complaining, both of those things. And they were once again protected from the serpents. But they still had the bronze serpent with them, so that anyone who looked upon it might be healed. Now, of course, Jesus tells us that this entire event was to foreshadow his death and resurrection, which would be the solution for the original serpent's bite to sin and death. And sometimes these stories are just history, right? And sometimes there's a powerful lesson in there, right? Look, don't go ask God first. Don't complain first. And look, between you and the Lord, probably go complain first. Lord, what are you doing? Can you imagine them in the desert? Why is this so hard? I thought this was supposed to be the land flowing with milk and honey. And instead, they go to Moses. And it's just riot after riot after riot. Instead, go to the Lord.